Hey, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the channel. I am your host today, Brooke, and I had a special request for this video that I'm doing today. I was asked to share what I know about the winter solstice. So let's dive in, shall we? The winter solstice is going to be coming up here very soon. It's actually going to be starting tomorrow. I'm recording this on Friday, December 20th. Now, it will be starting today in certain areas of the world, depending on your time zone. However, for the majority of us, it will be on Friday, December 21st. Now, what exactly is the winter solstice? Well, the sun follows the path of the ecliptic, and on December 21st, this is going to be the shortest day and longest night that we have in the northern hemispheres. Now, in the southern hemisphere, it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be the longest day and the shortest night. So, when we have the winter solstice, especially here in the northern hemisphere, it does represent going within, okay? Because we have very minimum light. Now, what's pretty cool, when I was going through and doing some research on different cultures, things that I didn't really know, there's a lot of things that I knew, but I wanted to get a little bit more information in order to be able to do this video. And so what was pretty cool, and I want to share, there it is, share my screen. Okay, so this is Stonehenge, and in my research, I discovered that Stonehenge has these stones, and if you're not familiar with Stonehenge, Stonehenge is in England, and it is also the heart chakra of the earth, okay? So every winter solstice, every summer solstice, the sunrise and sunsets are going to align perfectly with the stones. So they were specifically designed for this. And it perfectly aligns with the sun setting with the winter solstice. Now, in knowing energy and how energy works, when we have the longest night of the year, okay, you really should be upping your spiritual protection. So it is a beautiful idea to do simmer pots and to let them burn to bring in protection. And a lot of the traditions that are celebrated during this time is to help counterbalance that energetic energy of the dark, okay? And, you know, nighttime is when spirit gets most active. Like, that's just how the spiritual world works. So, on the winter solstice, I always advise everyone do spiritual protection, do spiritual hygiene. Now, traditions started as early as the Neolithic period, the last part of the Stone Age, at about 10,200 BC, okay, is when these traditions started. And all of the holidays, and it doesn't matter really what religion, what spiritual background you have, and me going through and researching all of them, it doesn't matter which religion, culture, background you have. it is truly all about bringing in the light, okay, because it is the darkest day. Now, keep in mind, this is Capricorn season. And so, if you know tarot, the devil card is Capricorn. So, this is a time period where we must be bringing in more light to counter the darkness just outside of us, okay? So this is a photo of the Roman holiday Saturnella, okay, which also honors Saturn. So this is where Santa Claus comes into play, and this is also connected to the Roman Catholics. Okay, and what was interesting is when the Roman Catholics started Christianity, and the reason why they picked December 25th was to blend all of the pagan traditions, the witch traditions, okay, which I'm going to dive into some of those too. The reason why they did that was to be able to blend them together. Now, Santa Claus come from the Roman god and the Roman holiday of Saturnella, okay? I suggest doing a little bit of research and you start seeing that maybe Santa Claus isn't the best thing to be doing. I'm just saying. There is also a feast called Juvenilla, and it's the feast honoring, okay, this is going to be the feast, the first Saturnilla celebrated in Rome. And then this is going to be the Juvenilla feast that's honoring children. Okay, so there are several traditions that are done. Okay, let's not forget Hanukkah, Christmas. We're leading up to Christmas. Okay. And another reason why the Romans picked December 25th for Jesus's birthday is because December 25th is also Mithra's birthday, and this is going to be the Persian god of light. So the Romans wanted to blend these traditions. The Romans wanted to blend all of these deities, these gods, and to do all of the celebrations at the same time because it would make it easier to start blending all of the different religions. So there was an agenda behind picking this day for Jesus's birthday. And when you start diving into the Romans and seeing a lot of their deities and a lot of the gods that they honored, you can see that they were trying to wrap them all in together in order for everybody to have celebrations at the same time. Okay. Now, you are also going to have what's called Yule that has already started. I'm going to stop sharing this. This. Okay, this is Yule, and this is a Yule log. Okay, so Yule is a pagan tradition, and it is the pagan New Year. And so it is celebrated for the return of the sun, literally, because the sun is not in the skies. Okay, the sun is not there. So when Yule started, and what they would do is the husbands, the men, the sons would go out and they would cut these massive logs, okay, and then they would bring them back home, and they would decorate them, but then they would also put them in to be burned. And they would burn these logs completely out. And so this could take up to 12 days to be fully burned out. And they would feast the entire time. So a lot of pagans, a lot of witches, a lot of occult practices honors Yule. And the reason why they do this is because the burning of the logs, especially at night, represented bringing the light in. And it also represented bringing in that extra protection. It is always advised to do a simmer pot, especially on that night. And a lot of times the simmer pot's going to have, your citrus, your cinnamon, your bay leaves, rosemary, different things like that that are going to be metaphysically protection elements within herbs. All right. And I did want to show, okay, Yule and Yuletide is largely connected to Christmas and Christmas time. And this is going to start around the winter solstice, and it's going to go on for roughly 12 days. It's going to be right there along the lines connected to Hanukkah as well. As you can see, it doesn't really matter what religion that you dive into. It doesn't really matter, which way you want to look at it. All the different traditions are basically honoring the same thing. Okay, it is the longest night, which means we do not have a lot of light here. Okay, light, sunlight. Okay, so the whole point of the fire and the traditions and the celebrations is to bring in more light. Now, we also have another deity that is also celebrated at this time, and this is going to be St. Lucia's Day. Okay. So traditions consist of lighting fires to scare away spirits during the longest and darkest night of the year. So women and girls wear white dresses with red shoes with wreaths of candles on their heads in honor of Lucia. And I do want to show you a picture. Now, there's many other religions and traditions that I did not dive into, and I just kind of picked a few out to share. And another that I really want to dive into is going to be the Native Americans. And what I found very interesting about this is the Native Americans' traditions are very similar to the witches, to the pagans, to the Wiccans, and also the Christians too. Keep in mind, Christianity is a pagan religion. Okay, that's the reason why you do Christmas trees. Christmas trees are pagan traditions, all right? So, the Zuni, Zuni, I don't know if I'm saying that properly, is going to be the tribes of these Native Americans. Mark it as the beginning of the year, and they do a dance called Shalako, Shalako, and they fast and they pray for several days before the solstice. And they specifically have what's called the sun priest to come in and to do the ceremony. And this is representing the rebirth of the sun. So I can't say all Native American, but the majority of Native American traditions will not even go outside during a solar eclipse because it represents the sun dying. Okay. The Father, the light, the sun. Okay, it represents the death of it. So in order to honor that, they always stay inside, and they do see it as a bad omen if you watch the solar eclipse. So they have 12 Kachina, Kachina clowns in elaborate masks that dance with 12-foot high staffs with bird heads that rotate, okay? And they rotate dancers. New dancers are going to be chosen for the following year after the 4 days of dancing, okay? So they dance for 4 days. They start beforehand and then they wrap up after the solstice. The Hopi Indians also do a ceremony all night as well, and this also includes lighting a lot of fire and truly bringing in the light on the darkest day of the year. Now, I will tell you, other cultures on the solstice, whether it be winter solstice, summer solstice, those that celebrate sacrifice, there is a lot of sacrificial ceremonies that are done at this time. And if you guys have been following me for any minute, you get what I'm saying when I say sacrificial ceremonies. Now, this can be, and this is deeply connected to the practice of Satanism, specifically when it comes to satanic sacrifice. Okay, this is a huge sacrificial day for those that celebrate those things, okay? And a lot of times we see a lot of darkness, whether that be a lot of loss of life, a lot of chaos, conflict, things that are just not of the highest good or the highest order for humanity. So anytime that the winter solstice comes back around, it is one of those days that I personally adapt a lot of my Indian traditions, a lot of my Indian ancestors' knowledge, and I call in all of my angels and my ancestors to bring in extra protection to be with me, okay? There can be a lot of spiritual attacks during this time because this is the time where the dark rules because we have no sun. You see? So, with the Hopi Indians, I want to get back to this, okay? They do very similar traditions as the others, and they do it with fires, dancing, gift giving, and they do celebrate with the Sun Chief, whoever that may be, all night long. So I love you guys. If you all would like for me to make a little video about a simmer pot that you can make, really the best way to do a simmer pot is going to be in a crock pot. So you can turn it on, keep warm, and just check it and add water to it. You can also do it on low on your stove. If you do and you plan on letting it go the majority of the night, you want to make sure that you're keeping an eye on it. That's why I recommend using a crock pot to make a simmer pot. And a lot of people do see it as being witchy, but in the end, it is what's needed to bring in extra protection. You really want to up your protection around your home, in your car, because again, it is the darkest day, okay, of the year, which the dark rules. And this is leading up to Christmas, which on December 24th, what is his name? Pope Francis is going to be opening some portals, and stay tuned because I have a lot that I have to say about that. But anyway, I did want to make this video about the winter solstice and give you all a little history of where this come from in the traditions and what we celebrate and why we have Christmas when we have it. It is to blend Christianity, the Indians, all of the pagan traditions, other gods, deities that other religions do honor. All right. Happy winter solstice, everyone. I hope you all have an amazing day. And if there's anything that you want me to do, you want to know about, please feel free to reach out to me. I do appreciate your all's feedback. That lets me know what you all want from me so I can deliver what it is that you all need. All right. I love you guys, and stay tuned because I have some new material that's going to be coming out and I'm so excited to share. So we'll talk soon. Bye.